Did you know that nearly 50% of all new businesses don't survive past their fifth year? This statistic alone highlights just how challenging the entrepreneurial journey can be, especially for certain high-risk industries. In part 1, we took a close look at 5 of these industries with steep failure rates. We discussed restaurants, where nearly 60% close within the first year due to high competition and razor-thin profit margins. We also explored how retail stores are struggling to keep up in an e-commerce dominated world, leaving thousands of brick-and-mortar shops shuttered each year. Construction businesses face similar hardships, with complex cash flow issues and long project timelines that make survival difficult, particularly during economic downturns. Then, we examined tech startups, which contend with constant innovation and fierce competition, and independent bookstores, where the shift to online shopping has driven many out of business despite their unique charm and community focus. Welcome to Satoshi Finance, where we break down complex finance topics to educate and empower you on your journey to financial freedom. Today, we're back with part 2 to reveal 5 more business types that face similarly steep odds. Each of these ventures may seem appealing on the surface, but the challenges they encounter are often underestimated. If you're curious about why so many seemingly promising businesses struggle to survive, stay tuned as we dive deeper into the next 5 high-risk industries and what entrepreneurs need to know to beat the odds. Fashion and clothing brands operate in one of the most competitive and volatile industries. The demand to stay relevant in an environment of constantly changing trends puts immense pressure on brands to innovate and keep up with consumer preferences. This fast-paced cycle creates challenges in inventory management, as brands must balance stocking enough items to meet demand while avoiding overproduction of styles that may quickly fall out of fashion. Overproduction leads to unsold inventory, which can be costly and detrimental, especially for smaller brands. At the same time, new fashion companies frequently enter the market, intensifying competition and making it harder for individual brands to stand out. Brand differentiation and sustainability have become increasingly important for long-term success in fashion. Today's consumers are more conscious of environmental impact, pushing brands to adopt sustainable practices, which can be costly and challenging to implement effectively. Without a strong brand identity or a commitment to sustainability, even established companies risk losing relevance. For example, Forever 21, once a leading fast fashion retailer, filed for bankruptcy in 2019 after failing to adapt to changing consumer preferences and the growing demand for sustainable fashion. This case shows how even well-known brands can struggle to stay relevant if they cannot differentiate themselves in a crowded market or adapt to evolving trends and values. Gyms and fitness studios face significant challenges in an increasingly saturated market, where high competition from large fitness chains can make it hard for smaller studios to survive. Major brands like Planet Fitness and Anytime Fitness often operate on a low-cost, high-volume model, offering attractive prices and extensive facilities that independent gyms and boutique studios struggle to match. This intense competition forces smaller gyms to rely on differentiating factors, such as specialized classes or unique training programs. However, attracting and retaining members remains difficult, particularly when consumers are presented with so many options and price points. Economic downturns pose additional risks, as gym memberships are often considered non-essential expenses. When budgets tighten, memberships and fitness classes are some of the first things people cut back on, leading to revenue drops that can be devastating for smaller studios with limited financial reserves. Furthermore, fitness businesses were heavily impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, which led to widespread temporary closures and a shift toward at-home and virtual workouts. This health crisis forced gyms and fitness studios to pivot rapidly, often investing in online platforms or safety measures, which further strained finances. Even as the world has gradually reopened, the long-term effects are evident, with many fitness enthusiasts continuing to opt for virtual classes or outdoor exercise, leaving gyms and studios struggling to regain their pre-pandemic customer base. If you've made it this far, consider taking a moment to subscribe to our channel. Subscribing is absolutely free, and you can always change your mind. We have a wealth of financial insights and exciting discussions lined up for you. Your support not only helps us reach a broader audience, but also motivates us to continue creating high-quality content that educates and empowers viewers like you. So, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned, and join us on this journey towards financial empowerment. Thank you for being a part of our community. Bars and nightclubs are high-risk ventures, requiring significant upfront investments in prime locations, decor, sound systems, and staffing. These venues often face intense competition, particularly in urban areas where nightlife options are plentiful and customers have their pick of trendy spots. Beyond competition, operating a bar or nightclub comes with various liability issues, including the responsibility for customer safety, which can increase operating costs. Serving alcohol carries inherent risks, and establishments need to be prepared for potential incidents that could lead to legal issues or harm their reputation. Insurance and legal fees are also considerable expenses that add to the overall cost of running these businesses. Seasonal fluctuations further complicate revenue stability for bars and nightclubs, as these businesses tend to thrive during certain times of the year, like summer or holiday seasons, while struggling to draw crowds during slower months. This unpredictability can make it hard for owners to maintain a steady cash flow, leading many to close when they're unable to sustain operations through off-peak periods. For example, many well-known clubs initially gained popularity but eventually closed due to financial challenges, changing customer preferences, or increased competition. Even those with a loyal clientele, such as New York's Output or London's Fabric, have had to close their doors due to the high operating costs and fluctuating demands of the nightlife industry. These cases highlight the steep challenges that bars and nightclubs face, where success can be fleeting without a solid, adaptable business strategy. Transportation and delivery services operate in a challenging environment defined by high competition, fluctuating fuel costs, and complex regulations. Fuel costs, for instance, are a major expense that can significantly impact profit margins, especially for smaller operators who lack the resources to absorb these fluctuations. Additionally, the transportation industry is heavily regulated, with strict safety, environmental, and labor standards that companies must meet. For smaller businesses, keeping up with these compliance demands can be financially draining, requiring continuous investments to meet safety and emission standards. Scaling in the transportation sector presents further challenges, as customer expectations for fast and reliable service are set by market giants like UPS, FedEx, and Amazon. These corporations leverage economies of scale and advanced logistics to dominate the market, often squeezing smaller operators out of the industry. Smaller transportation and delivery businesses struggle to compete, as they often lack the infrastructure and technological resources needed to operate as efficiently or cost-effectively as these large players. Consequently, retaining a loyal customer base becomes difficult, as customers are drawn to the reliability and competitive pricing of established market leaders. For instance, many smaller courier services have been forced to close or consolidate in the face of increasing pressure from major delivery companies that continue to expand their reach and service offerings. This trend underscores the harsh reality for small operators in a field where market giants dictate industry standards and consumer expectations. Restaurants in niche markets face unique challenges, often relying on a narrow customer base drawn by specific themes or dining concepts. While niche or themed restaurants can generate initial excitement and attract curious patrons, their appeal may be limited to a specific audience, making it difficult to establish a broad, sustainable customer base. Unlike traditional restaurants that appeal to a wider range of tastes, these establishments are often seen as novelty experiences, attracting repeat customers only occasionally. As a result, niche restaurants often struggle to maintain steady foot traffic and generate consistent revenue. Additionally, niche dining trends can change quickly, leaving themed restaurants vulnerable to shifting customer interests. Concepts that were once fresh and exciting, like cereal cafes or 1980s retro diners, may soon feel outdated as new trends emerge. For example, New York's Ninja New York, a ninja-themed restaurant with servers dressed as ninjas and an elaborate Japanese-inspired setting, initially drew attention as a unique dining experience. However, the novelty eventually wore off, and the restaurant struggled to maintain profitability as customers' tastes and interests evolved. This case highlights the difficulty niche restaurants face. While they can create memorable experiences, the challenge of staying relevant and attracting a steady flow of patrons often makes long-term success elusive in such a specialized market. Across high-risk industries like restaurants, retail, construction, fashion, fitness, and niche markets, certain challenges consistently lead to business failures. High competition, unpredictable costs, market saturation, and rapid shifts in consumer preferences create immense pressure on companies to constantly innovate and adapt. For small businesses and startups, these challenges are intensified by limited resources, making it difficult to compete with industry giants that often have the advantage of economies of scale, advanced logistics, or strong brand recognition. Additionally, economic downturns can hit these industries hard, especially for non-essential services like fitness studios or bars, as consumers cut back on discretionary spending during tight times. For aspiring entrepreneurs interested in these industries, there are ways to increase the odds of success. Developing a unique value proposition is essential. Finding a specific niche or service angle that sets a business apart can attract loyal customers. It's also crucial to stay adaptable, being prepared to adjust strategies as trends or market conditions shift. Business owners should thoroughly research their industry, carefully manage finances, and be prepared for both slow seasons and unexpected costs. Above all, having a solid risk management plan and understanding the challenges of the chosen industry can make a significant difference. By approaching a venture with adaptability and realistic expectations, entrepreneurs can better navigate the ups and downs of high-stakes businesses, increasing their chances of success. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel for more insightful content, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.